Linear RPGs are not true RPGs in my opinion.
When did we start complaining about games coming?
When Activision started releasing the games that they've been releasing.
I can't.
Switch is gonna be the reason that
Sorry.
I just break one of these days and go on like. All right, guys, welcome to the Talk Before You Run podcast. We're back another week. As you can see, I even put honorary pineapple of a pineapple's little, pineapple stack right here in the corner. She is not here today, hence the reason why it's an honorary pineapple. Also, Fevno is not here today. He couldn't make it into the podcast. But the show must go on.
Somewhere.
Say that again?
He's probably playing Fortnite or Siege somewhere.
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe, but who knows? Yeah, the show must go on. Well, yeah, he definitely breathed Siege, for sure. Last week, we discussed a little bit on the game that was being released by Switch.
Bethesda.
Yeah, that one. Called Starfield. Like we mentioned in the last podcast, this is a game that's been 20 years in the making. It finally officially released sometime, what was it, this week or was it during the weekend?
Officially released on the 6th, and the pre-release was the 1st.
Okay, so the first was the pre-release, and as of the time of recording, September 8th, it released 2 days ago. Well, I know one person that I don't think has turned the game off since it's come out.
I did, actually. I haven't actually played a whole lot of it.
I just, for some reason, don't believe that.
I mean, I've played a whole lot of it, but not
I've been watching.
Not compared to, like...
No Man's...
yeah, like, I'm just not in the gaming as much as what I used to be. So I haven't been playing any games much recently. As far as keeping my attention, yeah, it does that pretty good. It's people are complaining about it for not being able to land, like we said last podcast, but now they're like being able to play it, and I don't know what's going on in their head, because when it was hyped up to me, when watching TikTok, YouTube, whatever about it, I understood what was going on. I knew it was going to be a limited game as far as what they were saying. Bethesda's always estimating, just like everybody else does. Like Blizzard.
They overhyped it.
Yeah, you take Blizzard. As much as I dislike their current state and company, I can't say that they slack on their trailers for video games.
Well, yeah, but I think that's like all video game companies definitely go all out whenever it comes to the trailer because, once you buy the game, they can care less. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
But they definitely do go a little overboard.
Stop with Call of Duty.
Stop buying it?
Yeah. You're right.
It will never happen because there's always that group of people, but like, if they were to take a big hit where we just completely did not buy the next Call of Duty, regardless of what they said was on it, regardless of, because like you said, once you buy it, they don't care. And, we've been disappointed every single time.
Yeah, for the last, 3 releases? Probably going to end up being 4.
Try, because there was Vanguard, there was the Cold War.
And
Cold War was alright, but still there was complaints.
It was Vanguard, Cold War, Modern Warfare 2.
They have completely failed in the aspect of the World War II Call of Duties since zombies took over World War. When they released, what was it, the World War II or whatever game?
Hey, I liked that game even though it got a lot of shit.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people even said Ghost was better.
I wouldn't say all that.
And I think Ghost was one of the rough patches in Call of Duty between the Treyarch and Activision, feud.
I loved Ghost.
I love Ghost too. I love, I told Butch, I want to get back. That's one Call of Duty I'd play again. And that's why I was asking how the online community and, sessions were when he was playing it. But it's just, if we were to stop buying these games that keep letting us down, the company would focus more on making the game what we want.
I
Well,
doubt
see,
it, but it would be nice if they did.
they hit a peak when they released the Black Ops series. Then they dipped down, like you said, in between the Treyarch and Activision when they were
Because you
taking
had
over.
you had Advanced Warfare, which completely, you know,
Tanked.
went down the drain. Yeah, that shit gone.
And then
Uh,
Infinite Warfare on top of that.
yeah, then they get like the Infinite Warfare. I think those games were pushed out in a time before its time. If they were released now with like Cyberpunk, like the future stuff that we have going, you know, I
Yeah.
think it would have done a little bit different if they would have taken a little more time on the mechanics. I think they were rushing to push out something different rather than focus on mechanics. You
Yeah.
know?
And then they turned around and they released Modern Warfare 2019. To me, out of all the Call of Duty games that I've played, that one's probably my favorite. And don't get me wrong, I love the Black Ops series. Then
Yeah,
they
and I'm
also
gonna say
released
as
World War
far as
II
like,
before that. Also, I did like that game too.
so if like I don't know, I could say this for Modern Warfare 2019 because I'm still playing it, but I don't know. I just in the sense of granted, I can't like I don't have the best of internet, so I can't enjoy everything to the best of its performance. And I keep being told that Modern Warfare 2 fixed their mechanics a little bit. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know about fixing their mechanics. It still
Not the
seems
mechanics, but
mostly
like
the
how
same to
smooth
me.
the mechanics are compared to what they were before.
Well, of course. I mean, the game got released. Everybody went out. They got the game. They
But
did what they
even then,
could for the
we
initial
got the
release, but
game.
after that, there was just so many issues with it, and then they fixed some of
That's what I'm
those,
saying.
but it's
We
still
got the
not.
game with them with the idea because they put it out that they weren't gonna have to put out another game. They weren't gonna have to update it. They weren't gonna have to do nothing. That because the game was gonna be so great.
Well, see, this is my thing with it. They said that they were supposed to have like 2 or 3 years worth of content to go with this game before they
That's
would
what I'm
have to
saying.
release another one. But here they are, not even a year this game has been released, and they're already talking about releasing Modern Warfare
Modern
3.
Warfare 3. Or yeah.
And it's
They,
not even Modern Warfare 3, it's basically Modern Warfare 2 remastered. Again.
Because it's all the maps, right?
Yeah.
They're not even putting new maps. It's all original maps.
Yep. Well, they revamped the maps,
Yeah.
apparently.
yeah, to me, that's just absolutely ridiculous. They need to take a step back. They need to take a page out of Rockstar's
And take
book
years
and
back.
take like 10, 12 years to create a damn game. Make one
And
game that's really
not even
good.
that in the sense, like, I think Rockstar is just milking the fuck out of 5.
Oh, they're gonna
And
milk it for everything it's worth. That game's still to
that's
this
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
day.
People will still buy shark cards. People are still like granted, like they crack down on people's accounts for like hacks and stuff like that. Obviously on PC it's different because everything's modded now.
Yeah, and I'll put this out there. I don't think I've ever played a Rockstar game that I didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, look at Red Dead. For me, Red Dead is beautiful. For the time
I
that it
love
came
Red Dead.
out, I love Red Dead. I love the idea of it. I love how calm it is, and then how in the middle you can be in the middle of action like it's nothing. You know,
Yeah, well, I mean,
like
Red Dead
it allows
being
you to do
a
so
great
much.
game.
It has great detail too. Like
Yeah, with
so,
Red Dead being a good game, Grand Theft Auto being a good game. I mean, look at the Midnight Club games. How much,
yeah.
those were
I would
awesome.
if they redid a Midnight Club and released it for. I mean, I wish I could have it for PC like max performance and oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
The
dude, my most played game was Midnight Club Los Angeles.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I
Mine
was
was
on that.
Dub Edition 3.
I was
That
gonna
one
say
was a good one too.
the dub edition was pretty good, but mine was yeah.
And then Rockstar is also Need for Speed, ain't it? No, or EA. Is it
No,
EA
that's
and
EA.
Rockstar?
That's EA. That's
Okay, yeah. So EA's
ridiculous.
Need for
EA.
Speed, and then Rockstar is the Midnight Clubs. And I mean, even then, the EA games. How many EA games have you played that wasn't good?
A few.
They have some, but like they're always like the free games and stuff. You know.
Well, yeah, free games aren't really always going to be as good, but like,
Right.
Hey. I mean, it's not free, but the games that we get with our pass they're pretty
Yeah.
good games.
That's different though. That's not actually made to be a free game.
Yeah, it's made to be a paid game. Just you paying to be able to play it for free.
Yeah.
That's why you pay that monthly membership. That's like if you go
Well,
to a
yeah,
gym, you
I know
pay that
that.
monthly membership to go to the gym every single day. But if you don't, you got to pay $10 every time you walk in that gym. It's just basically the same principle. Like all of the Madden games. Look how long Madden's been being released. For the most part, I think I've only ever played one Madden game that I didn't care for. All of the UFC games, those are all made by EA. I don't think I played a UFC game that wasn't good.
What about WWE? Is that EA as well?
No,
No. I think 2K is their own, basically their own brand at this point.
Oh, is it?
uh,
I don't play a whole lot of games of those varieties.
I forgot who was publishing, but it was like funded by WWE, like the SmackDown versus Raw. The now it's what 2Ks.
Yeah, now it's all WWE 2K whatever. Same thing with like the NBA 2Ks and stuff like that. I think the
Yeah,
only
and
basketball game that EA still has a part in is like the NBA Lives, but I don't even know if they make those anymore.
I think the only NBA game I ever played that I really enjoyed was on Sega, and I don't remember the name of it.
what was it?
But I don't remember the name, but you can somehow get the basketball on fire, and you get extra
Was it
points.
the street ball? The street
No, it was a 2v2, and it had professional teams.
was it like a basketball or football?
It was basketball.
Basketball.
I know what he's
Yeah.
talking about, but I don't know what the name of it is.
Yeah, this is an older game. I couldn't. It's
Some of
been
my
Well, of
forever.
course, it
favorite
was on the
games, like
Sega.
Yeah, I knew it had
no, it
NBA
was
in the
like
name.
rags to riches, like those games where it was like NBA, and you could play street ball, you could play in the NBA, or you could, but you started out poor and then you made a name for yourself, and you could buy cars and houses and stuff, and ah, but yeah, no, there was a lot of dope games that were made.
When did we start complaining about games coming?
When Activision started releasing the games that they've been releasing.
Well, I was just thinking about it because I don't remember the first game that I've ever heard bad reviews on. Like when Oblivion first came out, no one was ever complaining about that for anything.
What's that?
Oblivion, when
I-
Oblivion came
Oh,
out,
Oblivion.
Isn't
when I
the
first
Elder
heard that,
Scrolls series made by the same people that made Starfield, right?
yeah, it's Bethesda.
Yeah.
There's also they make Fallout and uh, that might be
I'm
it.
trying
I
to
don't
get back on games like that, like open world quest games.
Look, I've probably bought Skyrim
know.
like 6 or 7 times.
Right? That's
All for
been
different
what, 2
platforms.
decades now?
Yeah. I'm
A
one of the
decade at
problems
least.
that contribute to a game not being created fast enough because I will buy Skyrim over and over and over again. Skyrim will
I've bought it.
forever be my favorite game.
I've bought it a few times. I'm actually doing another playthrough on it, with mods, of course.
Yeah,
Because,
no, he's doing the playthrough with mods though.
yeah. I mean, if once you play it with normal vanilla enough times, you gotta play with mods to spice
See,
things
and that's just
up.
I've only played through it like maybe I think it was probably once, honestly.
See, and
Completely.
I've never played with mods, and I've played normal playthroughs every single time. I've bought it 3 or 4 times every time.
Well,
Yeah, I
I've
don't.
done a few normal playthroughs, doing all the main quests and stuff like that, and then branching off here and there with different characters. But yeah, I've got a lot of hours in Skyrim.
See, but another thing, and I want to go back to the Starfield thing because I think we're getting a little bit too far off. With, say the name, Switch.
Bethesda.
Okay, with them being the makers of Skyrim and, like you said, Fallout and whatever other games. See, these are all games that are, to me, really, really good. But you shared a video with us. I think it was the one that you shared. Didn't somebody in that video say, well, if you like their style of games or whatever, that this is going to be a good game, but everybody was saying that like their style was boring or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know who, because I only recognized a few of those people in that little compilation. Like Asmongold was in there saying that it was boring after a while.
Or
I
it's
don't
just
see how.
Shroud and Summit.
Yeah, I don't see how. I see if you're somebody like Summit because he plays like Sea of Thieves, and he started out with like Fortnite and whatnot, and hated it and found Sea of Thieves and loved it and whatnot like that. See, that's fine, but that's not what Starfield is. Starfield is a RPG, just like Skyrim, but it's in space, a spacefaring universe.
I think they
You
just
know
set such high expectations for this game, and granted, I mean, it probably is boring.
exactly.
It
I,
may get boring after a while. It may feel repetitive. I mean, if it is, because I haven't played, if it really is, every planet you land on is the same enemy. It's the same loot. It doesn't get any better. Like then, yeah, it does. It gets boring.
well, it's the same with Skyrim. I mean, you go to you have the same random, which are not necessarily random. So like on Skyrim at I think what level 80 something, you have the Ebony Knight come and find you, and then at level 5 or whatever, you're 5 or 10, the carriers are set to come find you at a certain level for the Mythic Dawn museum opening and whatnot.
Yeah, see, but
Yeah, but if you spend what was it 20 years making a game,
Yeah,
you know,
we'll not even say that. Okay, so we knew before this game was released what this game was about. It's an
right.
open, I'm not gonna say open world, open space game that, yeah, I get it. Okay, a lot of the planets are the same, a lot of the monsters are the same, whatever. Now, take it from me, somebody who tried to play, what's that other game called, Switch?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Look, okay, guys, I'm like really bad with names
yeah,
Yeah.
today, so we're just gonna have to, roll with it a little bit. But I
it's all
tried
right.
to play No Man's Sky, which I've watched Switch play this game. I've listened to Switch talk about this game. I was like, okay, this game sounds like it could be really, really, really fun. Yeah, I played it twice. Actually, and I
Yes,
Yeah,
can't
No Man.
even. Okay, we
I
can't all
downloaded
just
the
quit
game.
talking at once.
We all interrupted each other, and then boom, stopped.
Yeah, that was. We probably couldn't have planned that any better.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I downloaded this game and like I said, I played it twice. And I can't even really say that I played it twice. I played it one time, and then the second time I sat there and either burrowed a hole into the ground or sat in the space station for most of the time because to me it just wasn't no fun for me. But Switch played the hell out of this game and he
I
very
still
much
do.
enjoyed it. And well, yeah, and he
I
still
still
does.
do.
That's why I'm so hesitant about trying to buy Starfield because I don't want to spend what is it 60 $70 for this game and it turned out to be I only downloaded and played No Man's Sky because it was free on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
Well,
really mad
it's
if I spend that much money and, don't get to play it cuz I don't like it.
right. Starfield's on Game Pass right now too, so
I would have to
hop
look
on
and
and
see
check it out for
because
free.
you got to remember mine's is a little bit different because I'm on PC so I get PC's Game
Yeah,
Pass.
it's the same. It's on PC Game Pass as well.
I mean, who knows? If it's on Game Pass, I might go ahead and download it and try it out. But I, me personally, I don't have high hopes for it because that's just not my style of game. I say that,
I
but then
think
I could play Skyrim for hours on end.
yeah. I know you were attracted to No Man's Sky because of the stars and everything like that. I think if you take out everything that you personally found boring from No Man's Sky and put it into Skyrim, that's what you would find what Starfield is. So I do believe you would enjoy Starfield.
Okay, well then, I mean, if it kind of tracks a little bit more along the lines of that, that's perfect. That would be, right, kind of a little bit more up my alley. But like when I was playing No Man, if it's more on the lines of No Man's Sky, then probably not.
Yeah, no, there's a whole lot of different things you can do on the side with people uh, and they're voice acted, so that's nice. So in No Man's Sky, there's no voice acting as far as I know.
No, it's all just
Well,
words that pop up
not
on the
like
bottom of the screen, and I can't read, so it takes half the
it's
game
not
away
like
from me.
it's not voiced in like any language that I know of. They've got like some gibberish going on, I think.
Yeah, but when they sitting in the background going yibbity 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 yibbity, it doesn't make any sense
So you don't watch
anyways. So we're good.
sub?
What was that, Beaker?
Is that why you don't watch sub?
That is one of the reasons. Yeah. Not only that is I'll get hyper fixated on the
You know, like-
words.
And miss everything you're supposed to be watching.
Yeah, and
You're
miss
not
everything.
watching what's actually going on?
Yeah, I'll like so
I don't know.
the
It's
anime that I'm watching right now. One of the episodes, and I don't know why because it was only one. Well, I say I'm watching right now. I actually finished it yesterday, but I was watching the greatest demon lord reincarnated as a typical nobody. And one of the episodes, I think it was episode 6, so like halfway through, was in English. Okay, I was
that
watching
just
it
the fucking
dubbed.
title?
Yeah, that was the title,
A mouthful.
Jesus.
right? But I was watching it dubbed, and
Say that
episode
again?
the greatest demon lord reincarnated as a typical nobody. Yeah, okay. But in episode 6, when I was watching it in dub, there, for whatever reason, had subtitles. So, and then not only that, like people that watch dubbed and then have subtitles on at the same time need to be put in prison because it makes it even worse the fact that what they're saying and what I'm reading is two completely different things.
Never, ever.
See, but that's my problem. I'll get hyperfixated on the words, and then especially if it's in dubbed at the same time, I'm sitting there going, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. That's wrong. That's backwards. And that looks like it should be upside down.
Right? I'm the opposite though. I gotta watch dubbed with subtitles because I'm deaf.
That's different, though. I'm not deaf. Plus, even if I was, I got a, I don't know, 36-inch speaker bar sitting on my wall right here, right next to me. If I can't hear it, there's a problem.
You will be deaf.
Yeah, when I turn, okay, so when I turn my sound bar on, I keep my computer volume at 50%, and then whatever I'm watching, I probably knock the volume of that down to like 15 to 20%. And that's still loud enough that I can hear it outside. Like if I'm in the kitchen, I can still hear what's going on the TV. Well, on my computer, should I say. It's not on my TV. I don't have a TV anymore. I have a computer and a monitor, and that's what I do everything on.
I was going to say, once I got my monitor, that's what I did everything on.
Yeah.
I can't look at a TV normally now.
Yeah, I put everything on my computer, like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever anime thing that I'm using to watch, because I use...
It's an ad blocker.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said it's because the no ads on anything.
Oh,
I said
yeah.
it's because the no ads on anything just makes it so much nicer.
Oh, that ad blocker is nice. Thank you, Switch.
You can watch all your
Yeah, shout out to Switch for that one, buddy.
Considering you watch whatever.
Look, when I used to get on 9anime before I got that ad blocker, and I had to sit there and close out 15, 20 tabs.
Football.
Hey, I watched the football game all by myself last night because nobody wanted to watch it with me.
I don't have.
I'm sorry, I was playing Starfield.
Were you like what? Throw it on here next time. Let me know.
I was in the Discord.
Yeah, but you weren't streaming it.
Well, no, that's because I didn't even know where you was at, Switch. That's whenever I texted you. You was laying in bed.
Oh, that's right. I was laying down waiting for the video to render. 3
I didn't
hours.
get an invite. I would have brought fucking chips in.
Yeah, Baker, you know that we're in the Discord every day. And then not only are we in the Discord every day, it is football season, baby. It is football season, and I got to watch the most beautiful thing in the world yesterday, and that was Detroit beating Kansas City by 1 point.
Yeah, but it's not the playoffs, so it don't count.
I don't care. Detroit beat Kansas City, and I don't have to hear about how Kansas City is going to go undefeated this year. They were taken out in the first game. They didn't let them have it. Now, will I say this? If Kansas... Well, no, because I can't even say that because Detroit's defense did real good, too. how do you say his first name? Or whatever. His last name's Tony, the receiver for Kansas City. If he would learn how to catch the ball again, probably could have had a better chance at winning that. He dropped like 4 wide open passes that I seen.
So what you're saying is if Tony could catch the ball, he would be great?
Yep. They're great. Not sponsored, guys. Not sponsored. Let me just put that out there. Although that would be awesome.
That Tony the Tiger is no longer Tony, it's Tanya, or something along those lines, because he's been too masculine for our children to idolize. That
Okay,
could
but
be all
like, is
crap,
that like
but I
a
don't know.
real thing from, you know?
I'm not 100%. I saw it. I was like, "That's a bunch of crap," and I filed it under file 13.
Yeah, because if that's just something that they're putting around on the internet just to do it, that's one thing. But now if they act, what is it, Kellogg's actually comes out and says that, I will never buy Kellogg's cereal again.
Now I will say, Bruce Jenner's cereal, they made a change. They removed their nuts.
I can't.
Switch is gonna be the reason that
Sorry.
I just break one of these days and go on like I don't know. We're gonna boycott Kellogg cereal.
I don't need it to begin with.
Well, I like Frosted Flakes. Okay, one of my
Frosted
favorite
Flakes
cereals.
are okay, but I'm not a big fan of cornflakes to begin with.
Well, I like as far as cornflakes goes, it's just Frosted Flakes for me. You ever eat just like plain cornflakes? That sucks. Like
Yeah,
bad.
you gotta add like some kind of sugar or something like that for it.
Right. Well, then by that point in time, you just got Frosted Flakes because that's all Frosted Flakes are.
Exactly.
And I like my top cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I will eat the hell out. I will eat a whole box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch all by myself.
And I love Reese's Puffs.
I hate Reese's Puffs.
Well, see, Reese's peanut butter cups are my favorite candy as well.
Oh, I do love Reese's peanut butter cups, but I hate Reese's Puffs. Weird, huh? I know. Yeah.
That's y'all making me hungry.
Don't worry if it makes you feel any better. I haven't eaten anything yet, so I'm already hungry as it is, knowing that my food is sitting in there waiting for me.
Oh, rip. I had some fried
Yeah,
rice.
I thought I heard you say that.
Yeah, Butch when they come and delivered our food. We ordered some stuff from Popeyes, so now it's just sitting in there waiting for me to go eat it.
Guys,
So what you're saying is we need to hurry up with this podcast so you can eat.
Well, I wasn't gonna say it, but all right, guys, I love y'all. And by the way, guys, I'm saying that, but we are doing this one is to be like a little bit shorter podcast, so don't think that we're just ending the podcast so I can go eat. If worse comes to worse, I will go get my food and eat while we do the podcast. Although I'm not gonna do that either. But I know we managed to win, and we was literally just talking about this Switch, how we, get off topic so much.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing that I want to do before we end this, going back to what we originally started with the whole Starfield thing and the fact that Switch is the only one of us that's actually played the game so far. Switch, I want you to give us your review of the 20-year in the making video game by Bethesda. I didn't say that right. I should have just said Switch say it.
All right. Well, first off, I love it. Absolutely love it. When I first played Skyrim, coming from Oblivion, loving Oblivion, starting up Skyrim, seeing all the weird new UI and the changes, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. And then after a while, I played it again a little bit. And it grew on me, and it's to this day one of my favorite games. But Starfield, I foresee it having the potential to rack up another decade of 1,900 releases because people are just going to be playing it nonstop, just like Skyrim. It's probably their best IP in my opinion. Elder Scrolls is nice. I'm not a fan of Fallout, but people love Fallout, and it's a good game. I like the idea of Fallout. I just don't like playing it. But yeah, Starfield is 100% on top of everything that needs to be. Like, it's role playing, and they take out a lot of the nitty gritty stuff, like getting into your ship and whatnot, with cutscenes, which is actually pretty sweet because you can use said cutscenes cut screen. Wow, words. Cut scenes in other content. Plus, they have this
You almost had it. It's okay.
great. They've got this really cool feature which I just learned today. Whenever you take a photo in photo mode, you can customize your border around the picture, and it'll use your photo gallery as loading screens automatically. I didn't have to set that up or anything. I took a picture and I was like, oh, that would be cool, and I took a few of them like that, and then boom, my next loading screen, there it was.
So
Like, oh,
like
that's pretty neat.
the photo gallery in the game itself, right?
Yeah, it's got a photo gallery in the game.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Not your photo gallery on your computer or your
Right?
game
No, no,
system. Okay, good. Glad we got that clarified.
no. I love it though. I recommend it to anybody and everybody, and anybody who says it's boring, it's just not their type of game, and they should go play Fortnite or
See,
Call of Duty or something like that.
but I do want to let everybody who's listening to this podcast know that Switch is a pathological liar.
Oh
And
yeah, all the time.
let me tell you how I know that, because he said that this game is better than Skyrim, and yeah, that's just not physically possible. Maybe in another universe where Skyrim didn't exist, but yeah, no, nice try.
In my opinion, it is definitely up there.
Well, it's a good thing your opinion's wrong. No, I'm just joking. Like you said, whether it's somebody's style of game or whatever, like I said, this is not really my style of game. Even though I like Skyrim, Skyrim's will, like I said, forever be one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game. As far as it not being somebody's game, like with No Man's Sky and this one, it might just be the space aspect of it, or I know in No Man's Sky it took like 50 minutes to get from one planet to the other. I don't know if that's how it is on that one.
No, it's all cutscenes. So you're in a bubble. When you're in space, you're in a bubble. So think of the map as just a little bitty area, not a little bitty. I don't know how the dimensions, but it's just one little area, and you can go within the bounds of this area, and that's it. And then you can fast travel to the planet, and you can explore every bit of that planet if you want. The only problem is when you're on the planet, the map is the center point is always your ship, and you're always in a bubble. So it's procedurally generated around your ship. So whenever you land, you're probably gonna have a different landscape, but everything else is gonna be, I guess, it'll be this. I don't know how to explain it. It's essentially you can't explore the full planet. It's just not all in one spell swoop. You get to land at different places and whatnot.
I mean, from what I understand from the game, and from what little bit I've seen you play it, because you've personally streamed it into our Discord for us to be able to watch it,
Yeah.
it doesn't really look like it would be that bad of a game.
Oh no, it's excellent. If you take Mass Effect,
Never played it.
that's wow, man, you don't know what you're missing out on. All these good games. Mass Effect, though, it gives me a lot of Mass Effect vibes with just the style of, say, like New Atlantis. That reminds me so much
See,
of the
I
Citadel.
played Mass Effect.
Like I said, I never played Mass Effect, so I don't know the actual
It's a,
comparison to it, so I can't speak on that.
it's an excellent game. You'd probably love it too. That one's more a linear RPG.
Yeah, so basically you have control of whatever it allows you to have control of. So you really
Yeah, you
don't
can be.
technically have control.
Yeah, there's you can choose to be a good guy, a nice good guy, or a renegade jerk. But it's essentially the same story, just with various differences that you can choose.
Yeah, instead of somebody saying thank you, they'll say, "Oh my God, get away from me."
Right?
I mean, that's basically linear RPGs are not true RPGs in my opinion. That's just my
They're
opinion, though.
more heavily. I think they're more heavily centered around the story than they are the RPG part.
Yeah, see me, and when I play an RPG game, I want it to be heavily centered around the RPG.
Right. That
But
was just Starfield all the way.
so Starfield's centered around the RPG then.
I mean, it's got story, but it's got story on a lot of other things, not just a main story.
Well, I have a question. Was there any story to No Man's Sky? I don't know. I never got around to figuring that part out.
Kinda, sort of, but not really. I mean, yes, with Artemis, but that's kind of forced upon you at the beginning until you get to the anomaly, and then you can go about your business doing whatever you want. You don't have to complete it like you can in Skyrim or any other RPG that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I ain't get to know Anomaly, so
The initial Artemis and uh, that storyline, it's just not as captivating to me. Like I skipped through it mostly because I had to read it, and if I have to read something to do it, I'm gonna like skip a lot of it because I don't like reading for fun.
back
I don't like
to I can't read, so this is no
exactly.
good.
It's not that I can't. I just don't want to. I'm lazy.
I say that I can't read, but I mean I read actually like at a second grade level, so I can
Yeah,
read basic stuff. No, I can read.
I
I just choose not to most of the time.
right. I've got dyslexia, so
See, I
sometimes
don't, but I got this thing called "Oh my God, that's a book."
yeah, it's overwhelming. I don't want to read all that
Yeah, it's a condition where if you put a book in front of me or a movie in front of me, I'm gonna pick the disc before I pick the pages every single time.
for sure.
And I say that too, but I also have those. I read books when I was in school, mostly
Yeah.
because I had to. But then I've watched the films that went along with these books, and I am so glad that I read the books rather than just watching the
Yeah.
film. So like A Wrinkle in Time was like the first example of that. I read that book, really good book by the way. Probably one of the very few books that I read that I actually enjoyed. And I watched
Yeah.
the movie and I was like, I am so glad that I read the book and didn't watch this movie first because that was horrible. And then Fahrenheit 451 was the other one. I think there was a movie with that one. I think that's the one that I'm thinking of. That was another really good book. And if I'm correct, that one has a film that went with it. If I'm wrong, then that's not the one that I'm thinking of, and that film sucked too.
I
So
remember a firefighting movie with Fahrenheit in the name of it, but I couldn't tell you what the full name of it was.
yeah, Fahrenheit 451 wasn't about firefighters.
Oh well then.
Fahrenheit 451. So if you not reading the book, Fahrenheit 451 gets its name because it is 451 degrees Fahrenheit for a book to burn. So it was really the book was in the gist of it was about a society where books were illegal. Like reading
I
books and
remember you
stuff was
saying something
illegal.
about that.
Yeah, a really good book. It was a little bit on the longer side. The longest one I ever read was The Odyssey, but of course that's a mixture of a bunch of different stories. I would
True.
read The Odyssey over and over and over again. I love The Odyssey.
I'd rather watch the movie.
Never watched the movie. Only read the stories in school.
I think there's actually a couple of movies about it. I want to say Sean Bean was in one of them
I don't
as
even know who that
Odysseus.
is.
Oh, Sean Bean. Let's see. What did he play in? He was the bad guy in National Treasure. One or two. I think it was two.
I've
Uh,
watched the movie, but I still can't put a face to the name, or should I say
Lord of
to
the
the
Rings.
movie? Okay, I do know Lord of the Rings.
Fellowship of the Rings. He played Boromir. Was it Boromir? I think it was Boromir. I don't know. He had the horn, Isildur's horn,
Uh huh.
and he died in the forest with protecting Frodo after he attacked Frodo at first, and then they
Okay, I
got
might
attacked by
know.
the Uloks or
Might
whatever they're
might
called.
know who you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure either. At the same time, Lord of the
But
Rings, though, I have all the books and including some other books that goes with it. I haven't read the other books yet, but I have read the original, like the actual books, and I've watched
I've
all the
not read them.
movies.
I've watched all the. Well, yeah, I think I've watched all the
Yeah, it was only three of them. Now it doesn't help that each
movies.
one of the movies are like 3 or 4 hours long, but well, and then of course if you want to start counting like the Hobbits and the Hobbit series and stuff, then of course it
Yeah.
makes more. But if you're just talking about
Have
like the
you-
original Lord of the Rings, there's only 3 movies.
Right. Have you seen the Rings of Power?
No, never heard of it.
Oh man, it's the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. It's like it's a prequel series. Sorry, to Lord of the Rings about how Sauron tricked. It's how the ring got made.
See, but how do you make
Essentially.
a prequel to a set of movies, a trilogy that didn't have a prequel?
They did have a prequel. It was called The Hobbit.
Okay, but they made the Hobbit movies. Now, what I'm talking about is like the one that you're talking about, and really, the Hobbit's not actually a prequel to it either. Not to the original Lord of the Rings,
How do you figure?
because it's just a different perspective.
No, it's
Like
The
it's
Hobbit takes place with Bilbo Baggins, and the Lord of the Rings is Frodo Baggins, the cousin, whatever. He's a relative.
all right. So he wasn't able to get Baker back in here. Unfortunately, he's having like really bad issues with his internet right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you all the quote, and to kind of stick with the theme, being how we were talking about video games and stuff like that. So this one, I did proud of myself whenever I found this one. Sometimes life is like a video game. When things get hard and the obstacles get tougher, it just means that you leveled up. Do what you will with that. But we're gonna go ahead and end it right here. Switch.
Hasta lasagna. Don't get any on ya.
Beaker wanted me to let y'all know. Adios, amigos. And I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. And if Pineapple was here, she'd go, bye.